Epigral is in focus, the erstwhile Make Money Fine Chem as we know it. The company, as we know, is a leading integrated manufacturer of chemicals, and they've recently opened their first R&D center in Ahmedabad. They have an investment of 30 crores that they're making for this, and this center will focus specifically on advanced specialty intermediates. To discuss more on this, Maulik Patel, the chairman and managing director at Epigral, is with us. Maulik, thanks a lot for joining in. I'll talk about the R&D facility in a bit, but before that, I wanted to address the earnings gone by, right? We did chat about this last time around as well. The earnings were weak, but you had spoken about how you're expecting to see some recovery come through. Just tell us about the demand environment. You have seen a bit of a sequential recovery, but is the worst over in terms of weakness? And what are the demand triggers looking like now?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sonia. In terms of demand, the major, like if you see the agrochemical industries, it is going through a worse cycle right now. So based on the agrochemical, a lot of specialty chemical manufacturings are also suffering from India. And we see that from quarter one, quarter four, Indian quarter four, I think it will start coming the demand slowly and gradually. Because globally, a lot of destocking, a lot of weather effect in the Brazil, a lot of interest rate pressure in Europe and US, and a lot of working capital pressure. I think this is creating entire supply chain very low, and people are not stocking enough. And I think that effect will go away from quarter one onwards. I'm talking about the next year, Q4 FY24 onwards. I think that will go away. And because of that, domestic demand is also hampering, because a lot of chemicals in the western part of India is depend on this kind of specialty chemicals. In the same, if you see the textile business, I think it is doing better. Last 1 year, it was very low. And right now, I think, again, they are back. Again, they are running around 90% efficiency. Most of their process house plants and their chemical consumption is coming back. So we see from, because of the festive season as well as also, I think it's now picking up. So we see, I think, quarter four onwards, we are going to pick up again the consumption cycle. And because of prices has also gone up because of the supply chain issues, because of the transportation is started picking up internationally. So we see quarter four onward, I think it will move up all the chemicals slowly and gradually.
Right. Maulik, good afternoon. Thank you for joining in. You had mentioned earlier that you are going to foray into the CPVC compounds and expanding your capacity by around 35,000 tons per annum. And it was supposed to be commissioned in the fourth quarter of FY24. Is that on track, one? And two, once that is commissioned, how much of it is likely to flow into your P&L in terms of your revenue and EBITDA? How is that going to benefit?
Yeah. So total 3 projects, as you rightly said, CPVC compound, which we announced last, CPVC expansion capacity also, and chlorotoluene capacity also. These 3 projects we are commissioning in quarter 4. Out of CPVC compound and CPVC expansion capacity, it is on track, and chlorotoluene also on track. We are going to commission all 3 projects by March 2024. And P&L probably, slowly and gradually it will pick up from quarter 1, quarter 2, next financial year, FY25. And I think second half of next year onwards, I think we will reach to almost 60 to 70% of the capacity of all 3 projects.
Okay. You had earlier spoken about a guidance of 5,000 crores of revenues by FY27. I wanted to understand if you're on track to do that, and by the end of FY24 and 25, what are you targeting in terms of top line?
So FY24, I think this is the worst cycle of the chemical industries, and in terms of realization, it was very low in this financial year. And I think we will, but till our expansion was there in the CPVC and the epichlorohydrin, we are able to increase our volume growth in this financial year, and we'll reach to around close to 1,800 to 1,900 kind of top line. Next financial year, again, the CPVC expansion capacity, epichlorohydrin in optimized capacity we will reach, and along with that, chlorotoluene revenue contribution will start. So we are targeting around close to 2,800 to 3,000 crore turnover by next financial year. And definitely we are on track, and we will announce a new project once we commission all these 3 projects. We will announce a new capex also, which is again a value addition from the existing chloroalkali complex, and which is mostly on the value added chemistry, which we are doing it. Almost this financial year we will reach to 50% revenue generation from the value added chemistry, and 50% from the chloroalkali. And from next financial year, we will reach more than 60% will be on the value-added chemistry only.
Right. Maulik, you've mentioned earlier that the second half is generally better than the first. And with all the headwinds that you highlighted earlier, and you're expecting those to go away by the fourth quarter, do you expect your margins to remain in this 23 to 24% range? Because now they are at for the first half, they are at 22. So do you expect them to go back to 23, 24% by the end of the year, or do you see a higher number than that?
Probably, I think in quarter four, I think we will remain around this number 24, 25. And quarter one onwards, we are expecting little more. Yeah. But on an average, we are targeting next financial year around 25% as a EBITDA, we are targeting as an industry.
Okay, well, hopefully this is the worst of the cycle that you've seen, as you said, and things will get better from here. Thanks a lot for joining in. All right, well, for the market...